Hey YouTube, it's your girl Corinne coming at you all the way from Montreal, Quebec. Okay, I've been getting a lot of messages begging me to update you on my situation. Well, it's not really the situation that you want to hear. I'll just start off where I left off. Um, the video where I was stranded in the parking lot in North Dakota. Yes, the van turned out to be irreparable. It was a timing belt issue that ended up ruining the engine. And so I had to completely abandon my van in the mechanic's parking lot. And I packed my backpack. Let's see if you can see it. And I went on a backpacking adventure. So I walked over to the edge of town and I stuck up my thumb and I started hitchhiking for the first time, and it went pretty well. The first ride that I got, it took 2.5 hours to get a ride, and then a white van with no windows pulls over and it's all dingy and dirty, and I was thinking, whoa, rapist van, but okay, if the seat is clear and empty, then I'll get in the front seat. So the front seat was available, and I got in the car. It turned out to be a sweet old man. He was a van dweller, and the back of his van was all um, turned into a home, and he travels the country going from state fair to state fair, selling toe rings, and he brought me over to the state fair to get a shower. Um, but he kept like commenting on how pretty I am and offering for me to sleep in his bed. Ew. But overall, it was a positive first hitchhiking experience. I made it 100 miles away. So then there I was in northern North Dakota in Minot, and I got housed up for a couple weeks with my friend from Facebook who used to be a van dweller. She let me stay in her camper, and that was so great. Me and the girls got along, and it was just nice having a bed to sleep on and food to eat, showers. But I told Danielle, I still want to go to Canada. She's like, okay. So she drove me all the way to the border, which was like a couple hours, and she parks the car. I grab my backpack and I get out of the car and I start walking towards the border, and a border guard comes out and he's like, what do you think you're doing? And I'm like, I'm trying to go to Canada. And he's like, why? Where are you coming from? Do you have a home? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I have no proof of that. And I told him I abandoned my van in North Dakota and I'm trying to go to BC to go to a hippie commune. And I guess they don't like that kind of story. They're like, oh, so you're gonna go mooch off our services. So, they just kind of scared me away from the border, and I was feeling discouraged. I had to go back to Minot and come up with a plan B on how to get into Canada. And at that point, I didn't even know why I wanted so badly to go to Canada. I just wanted to accomplish something, like I had lost everything, and I just wanted to accomplish a goal to make myself feel better. Um, then I hitchhiked to the edge of town. First ride that picked me up was another van dweller. This dude had his minivan that was looked like it was being converted, and he said he's getting ready to be a van dweller and gonna go road tripping. That's pretty awesome. How many van dwellers are so hitchhiker friendly out here? Um, so then the next ride took me 200 miles east, and that was by a trucker. And so that was pretty much how the hitchhiking experience went. It was all pretty positive. Okay, so I made it to Grand Forks, North Dakota, which was like right on the state line of Minnesota, and that's where I got stuck. I was only like 70 or 80 miles from the border, and I could not get a ride. I was going to gas station, I was asking people, can you drive me to Canada? And they're like, no. So I had to take a Greyhound. I it was 2 days until my Greyhound bus would arrive, so I just hung out with the drunk home bums. Like, there was a bunch of Native American drunk homeless people hanging out in the park, and they welcomed me into their group. They said I'm always welcome to hang out with them anytime, part of the family now, and they were just a loving community, calling each other mother and uncle and brother. Um, but, you know, there was a problem with the law there. The cops did come around and harass us, and the cops harassed me for sleeping under the bridge. Um, so then I went back to this nice camp spot that I found. I pitched my tent like in a park right next to the river, and it was nice. It was free camping. So then I took my Greyhound bus all the way east, and it took me 3 days because I was in the Midwest, but the Greyhound doesn't go through the Midwest into Canada. It only goes through coastal cities. So I took it for 3 days all the way east through New York and up through Quebec. I have a couple of van dweller friends here in Montreal to visit, and there's a lot of sightseeing to do. I'm just so happy and excited to have finally made it across the border. Being homeless has been extremely tough for me though. Waking up in a wet tent this morning because it rained, and having to lug a 50-pound backpack around, and it's really exhausting. It's really draining. And people look at you, they stare at you like you're nothing, like you're just a piece of shit, and it hurts. So I really would love to become a van dweller again. I've been on the street for a month now, can you believe it? But I've been saving up for another van. I think I'm about halfway there, so I have a ways to go. And my electronics have been breaking. Every time I get my hands on something new, it breaks. So now I have a tablet that I'm recording from, and so hopefully that will last me at least a month. Um, my my plan after this is I might go west through Canada. Um, I definitely want to continue traveling, even if I have to hitchhike. Um, Even if I have to hitchhike, it's really no big deal. And so right now I'm stealth urban boondocking right behind Walmart. I have this nice green grassy meadow where nobody disturbs me, and yep, I'm just living the boondocking life. So thanks for watching, everybody. I know life has its ups and downs. I'm trying to be as optimistic and positive for you as possible, but sometimes life gets you down. Yep. Alright. Peace out.